Lady Boulay, and I hope you've had a blessed day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. One of the strange things about being a Black American is that we are put in the very strange position of people wanting us to forget our history. They don't want us to talk about it. They don't want us to talk about our history because it was a long time ago. Now, it doesn't matter how long ago something happened to somebody else. They can talk about it ad nauseum. But they don't want us to talk about our history, specifically slavery. Now, they love to dress up like Union soldiers and Confederate soldiers and go to Gettysburg, I think it was in July, and they want to reenact the Battle of Gettysburg. And sometimes when you see them doing that, they get so deep into it that if you don't know any better, if you didn't know any better, you would think that war was happening right then in real time. That's how deep and passionately they feel about the Civil War. They feel very strongly about that Civil War because every time something happens between a Black person and a white person, it's like they think they are back in the Civil War. They're still trying to win the Civil War. But now they don't want us to say anything about the reason why they fought that war. It was over states' rights. It was over states' rights. Yeah, states' rights to own people, to enslave people. And another problem we have is people trying to diminish slavery. They try to diminish that tragedy. They're always trying to compare something to slavery and trying to say it was worse than slavery. And you have these Negroes doing that, like Ben Carson. They'll say, yeah, this was worse than slavery. Obamacare was worse than slavery. That's the kind of thing that white people want Black people to think, that there was something worse in America for Black people than slavery. That's two problems that we have as Black American people. We have the problem with people wanting us to forget about slavery, not talk about it, and if you do, you have to say it wasn't the worst thing on earth because Obamacare was worse, or somebody getting elected president that you don't want to be elected is worse than slavery. So they're always trying to come up with something to say it was worse than slavery. And in reality, slavery was a tragedy that stood alone by itself. There is nothing that we can come up with to compare it to. So listen to this young woman.
First of all, the Holocaust did not take place in America, so your statement is not relevant to my discussion. I'm tired of people trying to compare the Holocaust and slavery. Yes, they were both very evil, traumatic times, but the Holocaust lasted 13 years while slavery lasted 246 years. So the generational trauma is going to be different, point blank, period. Germany gave reparations to Jews for what happened to them. America was built on the backs of slaves, and we still have not received anything. And let's not act like this ended a long time ago, because my mom went to a segregated school. And, you know, I'm really proud of Black people and how far we've come. We're the central hub for dance, music, fashion, and trends. We even had a Black president. But what you're not going to do is try to brush our trauma that still affects us under the rug. And that's the problem with America right now. Y'all don't want to face the truth.
So apparently somebody came at her with the Holocaust. So now the Holocaust is brought into it. And we have to continue to say the Holocaust did not happen in the United States. Slavery did. The Jewish people have and continue to get reparations for what happened to them. But people want to tell us, oh, it happened so long ago. It doesn't make any difference how long ago it happened. It happened recently enough that the remnants of slavery still linger in the South. Some of us knew our great-grandparents who went through that system. That's how long ago it was. It happened so long ago, according to them, that the government has tapes of people speaking about their experiences in slavery. That's how recent slavery was. And people like to breeze over the fact that they got over like fat rats on our family members. And it wasn't just slavery. It was a whole lot of stuff that happened after slavery. All of that has to be taken into consideration. And people want to diminish it and shut you up. And it's not going to happen because it was wrong. And you don't right a wrong by not talking about it, or people getting mad at you because you say, this is my history. And your history is your history. You deal with your trauma, but don't try to minimize mine, because mine is just as important as yours. So America does not want to apologize for slavery. Now we understand why. Because they know once they apologize, then the next question is going to be, now what are you going to do about it? Because we lost wealth while everybody else was gaining wealth. So this is the issue that we have as Black Americans, and if we are weak, we will be defeated. If you let somebody else bully you into thinking that you shouldn't talk about your trauma, you shouldn't talk about your past, but let something happen to them and you will never hear the end of it. They're going to talk about it and rub it in your face every chance they get, and they want you to be just as upset over what happened to them as they are, but they will never show compassion for what happened to you. Slavery was a standalone tragedy. There is nothing to be compared to it. And we don't owe anybody equal time or an equal comparison. Their tragedy can stand for itself, and ours can stand for itself. So anyway, I wanted to come on here and make this point. The Holocaust happened. The Holocaust is its own tragedy. What's happening over there in Gaza, that's its own tragedy. What's happening in Sudan, in Congo, in other parts of the world, that's their tragedy. Everybody's tragedy stands on its own. And if you got to prop your argument up by saying what happened there or here is worse than slavery, then you don't have an argument. You just don't have an argument. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening. That's what I think about this. Let me know what you think about it. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.